पर उन्होंने भारत माता की सेवा चुनी। प्राण निकलने का इंतजार वो भी कर सकते थे, पर उन्होंने देश के लिए शहादत चुनी। हेलो एंड गुड आफ्टरनून टू यू ऑल. I am Prakash Jha, anchor of today event. Welcome all of you in today program of Azadi AmritMahotsav event 19 under Speakathon Club, which is organized by the Training and Placement Cell of Guru Jambeshwar University of Science and Technology Hisar. And this program is dedicated to 75 years of independence of India. And it will give me immense pleasure to introduce and welcome our chief guest, Professor Vinod Kumar Bishnoi, Proctor of Guru Jambeshwar University of Science and Technology, Hisar. Thank you so much, sir. It will give immense pleasure, and we are so honored and privileged to have you as a chief guest. I welcome Dr. Mahavir, sir, Assistant Professor from Chemistry Department, and Dr. Geetu Dhawan from Hindi Department as our judges. I welcome Honorable Director of Training and Placement Cell, Sri Pratap Singh Malik sir, Assistant Director, Sri Aditya Veer Singh sir, and Dr. Ranjit Dalal sir, Assistant Professor from Physics Department, who is also the mentor of this program of Azadi Amrit Mahotsav events, and all the Speakathon Club member and our enthusiastic participants and all the audience. I welcome to you all. Now I request Miss Pratibha to play a traditional video.
Pratibha, share screen. Pratibha, use share screen option. Pratibha, your share screen option is not enabled. Just stop it and then restart.
Sir, audio is not clear in share screen.
Even then.
Thank you so much, Pratibha. Now I request Director of Training and Placement Cell, Sri Pratap Malik sir, for welcome speech. Sir, please come forward.
Thank you, Prakash. So I think this tributary window, this video will be replayed by Raghav after my welcome address. So on behalf of Training and Placement Cell of Guru Jambeshwar University of Science and Technology, Hisar, I express my heartiest welcome to our today's chief guest, Professor Vinod Kumar Bishnoi ji, who is a senior professor in Haryana School of Business, and along with it, he is a proctor of our university also. He has obeyed so many responsibilities of university in various roles, and we are fortunate that today he has spared his precious time to give blessings to all the students who have come forward to participate in this particular event. And I also welcome our both the judges of today's event, Dr. Mahavir Prasad ji from Chemistry Department and Dr. Geetu Dhawan ji from Hindi Department. So both of our today's judges, and they are also very passionate about this particular spirit of Azadi AmritMahotsav, and that's why we have invited them to be judge of today's this elocution competition. I also welcome Dr. Ranjit Dalal, who is a mentor of this particular activity of Azadi AmritMahotsav Series, being conducted by Speakathon Club of T&P Cell. So we initiated this particular event in May 2021 with the birth anniversary of Jhansi Ki Rani Lakshmibai, and we planned that this particular event will be continued till 15th August 2022. So this particular event has been initiated to make our youth aware about freedom fighters and their sacrifices, because sometimes we face this particular thing that very little, you can say, number of freedom fighters are known to our youngsters. So our endeavor is that our university students should be aware that which are the unsung heroes who have laid their lives for freedom of our country, and this 75th year of our independence has given this golden opportunity to us. And along with this, this event also targets at enhancing the communication skills of the students, because students prepare about some freedom fighter, and he or she comes forward and presents about that freedom fighter. So in that manner, their communication skills are also enhanced, and this you can say spirit of patriotism and awareness about our forefathers, this is also instilled in our youth. So with this very purpose, this event was started, and we are happy to say that 18 such events have been very, very successfully conducted till now. And we are approaching towards other events to be conducted in days to come. So I would also like to congratulate all the Speakathon Club volunteers, because this initiative uh, has been by the students, for the students, and of the students. So these club coordinators and club volunteers, and these are basically conducting this beautiful event. And I also congratulate and welcome all the participants who have come forward and participated in today's event, because what we do in each event, that we basically give the names of those freedom fighters which are either born in that month or who died in that particular month. So in that fashion, in one entire year, we will be able to remember and know about a big number of freedom fighters. So this is the strategy which we are following, and I'm happy that more than 35 participants are present in today's event. So I wish all the participants good luck. And again, I am very grateful and very thankful to our chief guest and both of our judges. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you so much, sir, for your golden words. Now I request Raghav Seni to play a traditional video.
ये जो देश है तेरा, स्वदेश है तेरा, तुझे है पुकारा। ये वो बंधन है जो कभी टूट नहीं सकता। खुशबू तू कैसे भुलाएगा, तू चाहे कहीं जाए तू लौट के आएगा। नई नई राहों में दबी दबी आहों में खोए खोए दिल से तेरे कोई ये कहेगा, ये जो देश है तेरा स्वदेश है तेरा।
Thank you so much, Raghav. Now I request our chief guest, Professor Binod Kumar Bishnoi sir, for his speech.
Most respected Pratap ji, Director Training and Placement, Ranjit ji, who is coordinating this event, my fellow colleague Dr. Geetu and Dr. Mahavir ji, and the anchor of this program, Prakash, and all the volunteer students who are either contributing directly or indirectly, and all the participants of this event. I am very happy that some platform has been provided to the students to learn this kind of diversity which is prevailing in the country, and also trying to learn the unsung hero of the nation, because in the entire movement, in the independence movement, thousands of people have sacrificed their life. However, few of them are highlighted only. We do not undermine those who are highlighted, and we should not undermine the people, those who have laid their life for this country to give us the freedom, the free air which we are enjoying today. I would like to stress upon that this country is a diverse country. The country which lives in hills and dales, the country which is having more than 25 of the languages, the country which is having more than 1600 kind of dialects, the country which believes in half a dozen of religions. This is the kind of diversity we have, and still we are sailing in the same boat. So some of our forefathers have laid their life to maintain this kind of diversity. And when I see today's students that if the say letter is offered to them that you have to perform a job in Bhiwani, so Hisar student says that no, I cannot go to Bhiwani. And even if you are appointed somewhere in South India, so how will you perform your job? But this is, amazing country, amazing country. And we should learn. If we are not going to learn the diversity of this country, the country will not survive. Therefore, I'm very happy that training and placement put up such kind of efforts. Pratap is personally taking pain of such events. As a teacher, I always believe that if I am delivering some lecture in my class, and if a single student is benefited, say for example, my journey would be up to 35 years in the teaching profession. So I believe that every year, if I can shape 2 students, I have contributed 70 lives. Similarly, if such kind of event is taking place, and say this is 19th episode of the Speakathon, and it will last up to August. So probably 30-40 episode will take place. And if say for example, 3 students have learned something about it, this number would be 120 or 150. This is the immense contribution I would say that this training and placement is putting up. Second issue is that how to become a good citizen. If we do not learn this diversity, if we do not learn our own culture, we call it in culture language inculturation. This inculturation part, if we do not inculcate within ourselves, how we become a good citizen, how we can deliver to the country, how we learn our ethical issues. So this is a great effort by the entire team, by the volunteers, by all the students. So I would like to congratulate the training and placement cell to carry out such a wonderful activity, and also to learn about our own country. Say, for example, today I was going through the contribution of Savitribai Phule, or the contribution of Thakur Roshan Singh. Because you are going to participate, so I will not highlight that. But through this, one what you call a platform, or the something which was delivered to me, I mean, it was an eye opener that how people have sacrificed their life. And still in the age of 53 or 54, I was not aware of. So thank you for giving me this opportunity, that I'll be going through at least uh, 10 of the unsung heroes who have laid their lives for the cause of the country, or for the cause of the women development, or for the cause of the girls' education. Because independence doesn't come, it has a sacrificing value, the value which has been put up by our forefathers. So we should enjoy this, we should realize this, we should inculcate this, and religiously we should follow it. So thank you very much, and all the best to all the participants.
Thank you so much, sir, for your precious and golden words. Now, there are some instructions for the participants. For all the participants must listen this instruction. You have to present in English only. Also, any couplets or famous sentences, etc. may be recited in Hindi or other languages as well. When your name is announced for speech, then only you should open your video and audio. Don't open audio and video until and unless to do so. Speech should be of maximum 4 minutes, no lower limit. There will be warning message after 3:30 minutes and message of time out after 4 minutes. Please try your best to avoid the repetition of facts or incident which have been shared with earlier speakers. Even in case of repetition, interpret that fact or incident in a different manner. Speakers should keep themselves focused that our generation should learn from so and so freedom fighters. No derogatory remarks against anyone are allowed. Participants doing paper reading will be disqualified and certificate will not be awarded to those. You understand that how difficult it is to speak in front of all. To boost this confidence of a speaker as in class when he or she ends up. Participants have to speak on life of personality, lesson learned, and their relevance in current context. So all the best to all the participants. And I want to say something that all the participants present here are the winners, because at least you people have taken a step forward to take part in it among thousands of students. So be positive and give your best. With this positive energy, I would like to call our first participant, Ms. Shruti Ranjan from BTech CSE first year.
Prakash, call only those students who are present. Firstly confirm and then call.
Okay, sir. Now I request participants serial number 4, Rohit Kumar for BTech EC first semester.
Yes.
Sir, hello. Yes, Rohit, you are audible. Please switch on your video.
Am I audible?
Yes, Rohit, you are audible.
Good afternoon. Name is Rohit Kumar. I am
I think he's facing some connectivity issue. Next can be.
Okay. Now I request participant number 5, Muskan from MBA Finance. Muskan, please turn on your audio and video.
Good evening, sir. And I am Mustan from MBA Finance. So, firstly, I salute to all the leaders because it's very hard work to become a leader. And in today's life, it's a very, very hard because everyone is busy to think ourselves. They don't come forward to from their comfort zone. So it's a very difficult task to become a leader. So today I am here to speak on Savitri Bai Phule. See, because of her, we are here, and all girls are provided education. So she was the first female teacher of India, as we all know, and she was born in 3 Jan 1981 in Maharashtra. She was married to Mahatma Jyotirao Phule at the age of 10, and her husband was a very good and understandable person. Because of him, she got the education and she became a first teacher of India. So Savitribai Phule further education was given by his husband friends. That was the Sharam Yaswat Pranje and Chesav Shivram Bhaleswar. So these two of them then teach her, and she was the best results give by her. So she do the many things that like she opens a college for the girls, a school education for the girls, and she also play a role against the child marriage, because as we know that before that time child marriage will be, because she also married at the age of 10. So she fight against the child marriage, and she spotted the widow remarriages, because at that time the widow women are feel like not nothing, they are can be different from our part of society. So she fight against the widow marriages, she remarries the widows. She also support the education for girls. She faces many problems in the society at that time. Women like the back end of the society. So she faced many struggles to become a best or to prove herself, but she never lose her patience, and she like fight against our society. I read in a book that when we want to change a small change in our society, we need to change our attitude or our thinking. But when we need to change a society at large scale, then we need to stand against the society. And you when stand against the society, it means you can fight with the society. So when you stand against the society, you invite the problems, and everyone don't try that, they don't able to solve their life problems, then why we can invite other problems to our life? So it's a very difficult task, but she can stand not against the society, but she can stand against the thinking of every people at that time. And it's a very, very difficult. to be stand for the education of the girls. We are here, so I can just choose her because I learned many things from her, and she was my role model. So something that I learned is problems are our part of life, and when you start facing them, then you become a winner, and what you want to do, you can do. So doesn't matter what stones are come in your path. So thank you all of you. Just try for it, and I salute to the ma'am.
Thank you so much, Muskan. You have spoken very well. Now I request participant number 6, Miss Lakshmi from BSc Honors Physics first semester, to come forward.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Good afternoon, all the staff presented here. My name is Lakshmi. I'm from BSc Honors first year Physics. So the personality chosen by me for allocation is Swami Vivekanand. So now I am talking about the early life of Swami Vivekanand. Swami Vivekanand, born as Narendranath Dutt, who was a Hindu monk and philosopher. He was born on 12 January 1863 in a Bengali family at his ancestral home in Sri Guru Mohan Mukherjee State in Calcutta, the capital of British India. Narendra's father, Vishwanath Dutt, who was attorney at Calcutta High Court. The Narendranath's grandfather, Gurchand Dutt, who was a Sanskrit and Persian scholar, who left his family and became a monk at the age of 25 years. His mother, Bhuvaneshwari Devi, was a devout housewife. The rational attitude of his father and the devotism of his mother helped Narendra in shaping his personality. Now I am talking about the education of Swami Vivekanand. In 1871, at the age of 8, Narendranath enrolled in Isma Chandra Vidyasagar, where he went to school until his family moved to Raipur. And in 1879, he was the only one student who got first division marks in Presidency College entrance examination. Besides this, Narendranath was an avid reader in most of the subjects and was interested in Hindu scriptures like Mahabharata and Purans. So Narendranath passed her fine arts exam in 1881 and completed his BA degree in 1884. In 1884, Narendranath first met with Ramakrishna in 1881 as his father has died in 1884. In General Assembly institution, William Hastie was giving his lecture on William Wordsworth the poem The Excursion. While explaining the word trance in her poem, William Hastie suggested his students that they should visit Ramakrishna of Dakshineshwar to understand the word or trance. So this prompted the Narendranath to meet Ramakrishna. In 1902, Swami Vivekananda went to his monastery at Belur Math, where at 7 p.m. he went to his room and asking not to disturbing him. At 9:20 he died. His disciples said that his death due to his blood vessels ruptures in his brain, and he was cremated near Ganga River, Belur, where 16 years earlier Ramakrishna also cremated. And as we know, Swami Vivekananda is considered as a patriotic sant, and his birthday is celebrated as National Youth Day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lakshmi, for your precious words. Now, I would like to call our next participants, serial number 7, Rasmi Yadav from BSc Math Honors, 3rd semester.
May I start?
Yes.
Knowledge always demands increase. It is like a fire, which must first be kindled by some external agent, but will afterward always propagate itself. With this thought, good afternoon, everyone. Today, I, Rashmi Yadav, BSc student, I want to tell you about our first lady teacher, Savitribai Phule. So here I begin. Savitribai Jyotirao Phule was a prominent Indian social reformer who played an instrumental role in women education and empowerment. She demanded dignity for women. She demanded dignity for girls' education, for which she, along with her husband, worked their entire lives. The principles of humanity, liberty, equality, and justice were utmost importance for her. Now let's talk about her early life and work. Savitribai Phule was born on 3rd January 1830 in Naigaon, which is presently in Satara district, in a farming family. In 1840, she was at the age of 10. She was married to Jyotirao Phule, who was 13 at that time. She started her education after her marriage. Seeing Savitrbai's passion for education, Jyotibai Phule educated her. On 1st January 1848, she started first school for girls' education along with her husband Jyotirao Phule. While she was on her way back to school from her home, some opponents threw stones at her. Yet she did not stop and started to work for women's education and started educating them. A night school was also opened so that agriculturists and laborers can work in daytime and can attend school at night. Although Savitribai and Jyotibai Phule were issueless, yet they decided to adopt a child from a Brahmin widow called Kashibai, thus sending a strong message to the progressive society of people. The adopted son, Yashwant Rai, grew up to become a doctor. While Jyotibai advocated widow remarriage, she tirelessly worked against social issues like child marriage and sati pratha, two main issues which were gradually weakening the very existence of the woman. The first teacher and the first educationist was also the first poetess. Her two books of novels, Kavya Phule and Bhavya Kashi Subodh Ratnakar, continue to inspire us today with their questions on caste and system. Savitribai Phule died on 10th January 1897 while treating for patients suffering from a serious infection bubonic plague. Her achievements were numerous and diverse. At last, I want to end my speech by saying few lines. सहा जिन्होंने कीचड़ पत्थर गोबरों का मार उतारना चाहा समाज से पिछड़ी सोच का भार. भारत की पहली महिला शिक्षिका जो है कहलाती, कन्याओं की शिक्षा के लिए समाज से भी लड़ जाती. She was the real iron lady who had the courage to fight for women's education and sati system. A great salute to a great lady. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rasmi. You have spoken very well. Now I will invite our next participant, serial number 8, Kusum from BSc third year.
First of all, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be present here. And I'm starting with a quote, a very famous quote and an inspirational quote. Arise, awoke, and stop not until your goal is reached. Yes, that's right. I'm going to talk about Swami Vivekananda. I'm Kusum from BSc Biotechnology third year. Swami Vivekananda was born on 12 January 1863 in Calcutta. His real name was Nandranath Tata. His father's name was Krishnanath Tata and his mother's name was Bhuneshwari Tata. Swami Vivekananda has a great memory since his childhood and he had read all the scriptures and like as the Vedas, Upanishads and Mahabharata, Ramayana and many more. He took his higher education abroad and grew up and established the Ramachandra mission and which through the separate of Hinduism abroad all over the globe. His speech in Chicago made him globally famous and is still known all over the globe. His speech in Chicago was 1893, a long time ago, and is still famous all over the globe and known as an Indian person. And it's very inspirational for us all. Swami Vivekananda is still considered as a patriotic saint. His birthday is celebrated every year on 12 January as National Youth Day. And before 2 days ago, we celebrated 159th Youth Day in our country. And one more inspirational and motivational quote that we should implement in our life to make our bright future. And is like as our heart is a great or a good fertilizer. Anything we want to grow, like as love, fear, hate, jealousy, revenge, etc., and many more, it will surely grow and bear fruit. Now it's our responsibility and it's our thought what we should grow in our heart. And we should inspire from these such personalities which has been known after 160 years and are living in our heart. Yes, they are died now, but their words are around us. And that's why he also said that we must think about our thoughts because we die, but our thoughts remain in the world, and their life is very long. Their life is very long. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kusum. You have spoken very well. Now I request our next participant number 9, Ankit from MBA Marketing first year.
Oh, I'm audible?
Yes, you are audible.
First of all, good evening, dear judges, participants, and audience. Today I personally chosen by me Sardar Seva Singh. Sardar Seva Singh Thikriwala, popularly known as Kirpan Bahadur, was the real hero to found the Parza Mandal movement in the Punjab to raise the voice of the people against the despotic rules of the ruler of the Punjab state. It was a time when the state ruler were terror to their subject. The people had no right even to have the access to lay down their genuine grievances before their rulers. The honor of their female was always in danger. Under such old time and the despotic rules, the line of Punjab state subject, Sardar Seva Singh Thikrewala had come in to the rescue of the downtrodden people when he united them to stand against justice. Sardar Seva Singh Kirpan Bahadur was born in August 1878 at village Thikrewala in Punjab. from Patiala district. His father name was Deva Singh and his mother name was Harkaur Singh. His father Deva Singh was an important official at the court of Maharaja Rajinder Singh. Seva Singh has his schooling in Patiala Vihar. He learned Urdu, Punjabi and English. When he grew up, Seva Singh also got appointment as a state official, but he did not allow his official position to come in the way of his interest in the educational and other program of Singh Shobha movement. As a committed member of the Singh Sabha reform movement, Seva Singh administered Paul to a large number of young men, open Gurumukhi classes in the village Gurdwara and worked jealously for popularizing and Anand from the marriage among Sikhs. But as soon as Seva Singh stepped out of the Lahore fort, he was arrested by the Patiala police and detained in Patiala jail. He was tried in the court of Barnala on the charge of a minor theft. And though the charge could not be proved, he was not released. This act of high-handedness on the part of the state ruler led to a aggression in the state. Baba Krak Singh demanding immediate release of the Tikriwala and condemning the state government for its arbitrariness inside the jail. Seva Singh sat on hunger strike as protest against mistreatment by the jail officials. When his condition grew critical, he was released on 24 August 1928. When the Maharaja of Patiala saw the increased popularity of Parjamandal movement in the state, he started a negotiation with the Seva Singh in 1931. The negotiation, however, broke down over the demand of Seva Singh for an elected assembly in the state. In July 1931, he went to Simla to attend the third conference of the Punjab Rasti Parjamandal. The conference could not be held on account of disturbance created by some hireling of Patiala, but Seva Singh utilizes the occasion to have discussion with Mahatma Gandhi on the problem of state peoples. On 15th May 1932, he presided over a Akali conference at Kudiala and made a powerful speech. In April 1933, he attended the fourth conference of the Punjab Parjamandal at Delhi and played an effectively role in its proceeding. A month and a quarter later, he took part in a meeting of Parjamandal leaders at Amritsar, where it was decided to send jathas of people who the official of the Lahore political agent. In consequence, Seva Singh was served with order to quit Amritsar immediately and not to enter the district of Lahore and Amritsar for 2 months. After that, when he reached in Tikriwala, he was arrested by the Patiala police on 25th August 1933. Several charges were levied against him, but he refused to defend himself. He was sentenced to 3-year imprisonment and a fine of rupee 5,500 in the Kudiala Akali conference case. He had hardly been in jail for 6 months when he went on hunger strike as a protest against ill treatment by the jail authorities. The government did not pay proper heed to his health and he died on 20th January 1935. The state authorized Cap A SS under police guard in Gurdwara Nigha Ki Bagichi in Patiala till 1938, when Maharaja Bhupinder Singh's successor or Maharaja Yadavinder Singh allowed this to be taken Tikriwala with full military honors on his death anniversary, which is observed on January 20. Seva Singh received the honor of a martyr from the West. Number of people who saw Tikriwala on the occasion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ankit, for your precious and golden words. You have spoken very well. Now, calling our next participants number 10, Monica Sihag from dual degree BSc MSc Chemistry, 4th year.
I am audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Great afternoon to all the dignitaries, volunteers, and participants present here. I, Monica Sihag, student of MSc Chemistry, provide my grateful thanks to this Azadi AmritMahotsav Series, who gave a golden opportunity to all the students for showing their love and gratitude to our respected freedom fighters. Now today I am going to speak about an unsung lady freedom fighter, Rani Gedilinu, a Naga freedom fighter. A Naga freedom fighter born on 26 January 1915 in Manipur. She was started her journey as a revolutionary at the young age of 13 by joining Hareka movement for revival of Naga tribal religion. At the age of 17, she led this movement against the British and proclaimed that we are free people, the white man should not to rule over us. Then she violently led many guerrilla forces and persuaded their tribal people not to pay taxes and not to cooperate with British Empire. They united as one and refused to assist the British, which led several repressive measures imposed by Assam Rifles. So overall, the aim of that movement is to reform all religious practices in order to strengthen the movement aimed at expel the British Empire from our India. Then Rani Gedinelu became a target for British forces, who launched a manhunt for her, which forces Gedinelu to go underground. British government then declared monetary rewards also for any valuable information about her location and including a 10-year tax break for the informant. So threatened by her growing popularity and strong defense, British authorities sent a special Assam Rifles under Captain MacDonald to capture Gedinelu. Then unfortunately, on 17 October 1932, Gedinelu and her followers were arrested and she was sentenced for 14-year lifelong imprisonment. After 14 years in prison, Gedinelu was released in 1947 on the orders of our Honorable Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. In 1966, after 6 years of living underground, she came out from her jungle hideout to work for betterment of her people through peaceful, democratic and non-violent means. Then, unfortunately, she died on 17 February 1993 at the age of 78. You know, she was also rewarded with the Tamra Patra Freedom Fighter Award in 1972, Padam Bhushan Award in 1982, and Vivekananda Seva Award in 1983. So let us all remember let us all remember Rani Gedinelu for her indomitable spirit and for the freedom for making that he fought for making an independent India. Let us all be brave. Let us all be fighters and salute Rani Gedinelu. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you so much, Monica. You have spoken very well. Now I request our next participants number 11, Ansul from BSc Economics Honors second year.
Do you love your country? Then come. Let us struggle for better and higher things. Look not back. No, not even if you see the dearest and nearest cry. Look not back, but forward. A heartiest greeting to honorable judges, beloved teachers, and my dear friends. I am Anshul, pursuing basic economic honors in Guru Jambheshwar University of Science and Technology. Today, I am here to speak about one of the greatest future masters of India, Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda's real name was Narendra Datta, and he was born on 12 January 1863. His father Vishwanath Datta was an attorney in Calcutta High Court, and Swami Vivekananda was from a highly educated family with high thinking, intelligent mind, and strong willpower. The life of Swami Vivekananda was greatly influenced by his mother, and she played a significant role in shaping his life. Swami Vivekananda completed his graduation from the University of Calcutta. Then he went on to pursue law and practice as an attorney in the Calcutta High Court. As a principal of his Guru Shri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda peaks India when it was slave of Britishers. At that time, he addressed the young generation of India by saying that arise, awake, and stop not until the goal is achieved. In the year 1893, when the first World Parliament of Religion was held in Chicago, Swami Vivekananda gave a wonderful speech starting with the words, as brothers and sisters of America, we surprised the whole world. And at that time, there were about 7,000 people presented at the Chicago venue, who all gave a standing ovation and clap that lasted for more than 3 minutes. Swami Vivekananda was a victorious personality who had devoted his life toward public services, serving humanity, and for the upliftment of the society. And at last, he said goodbye to the entire world at a very early age of 39 on 4 July 1902. But the great man never dies because their thought never dies. Their thought always remains alive. Swami Vivekananda is a great inspiration for the youth, as today in India, his birth anniversary is celebrated as a National Youth Day. And in last, I want to share one of greatest Swami's views that is personally attached to me, that education is not the amount of information that is put into your brain. We must have life-making, character-making, man-making assimilation of ideas. And if you had assimilated 5 ideas and made your life and character, then you love education then more than any man in this world. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Anshul. You have spoken very well. Now I would like to call participants number 12, Kajal Verma from MBA Marketing, Guru Jambheshwar University of Science and Technology.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
So every citizen of India should remember that he is a citizen of India. He has enjoyed every right of our country, but with some duties. So with this, myself, Kajal, I am one of the students of Guru Jambheshwar University from the Department of Haryana School of Business, and I am pursuing MBA Marketing. So you must have read the revolution of 1857, and someone have called this revolution as a social revolution, while someone have called this revolution as a soldier rebellion, while other one have called that it is a religious revolution. But some scholars have said that if this fight was fought with a team, so there is a success, and we will find our independence on that day of the fight. But this will not happen. Perhaps our India and our country will are burning in the fire of revolution. And not with that, there is a woman who was burning in the fire of revolution. Meanwhile, not everyone known the name. That is Ajijan Bai, who was the great freedom fighter who gave her life to our country for their independence. He was a professional dancer. Ajijan Bai was born in Lucknow. His father was a great and a famous singer at that time. When his father and mother death, he came from Lucknow to Kanpur and settled down and lived their life in Kanpur until then. The revolution of 1857 and starting singing and dancing and cutting the yarn. But in spite that, she has built a team of women in which she teach them how you can fight for yourself and how you can fight for their independence. So she teach them and she teach at the home of Tatya Tope, who was that time also a freedom fighter, and this place was safe for them. So with this, Ajijan Bai was starting training to them, and not only this, Ajijan Bai was also helping Tatya Tope to providing food for their team members, because Tatya Tope have seen that he was a great woman who had to work and who want to willingness to towards their nation and their country. So with this, Jijan Bai was also riding horse for the soldiers who was injured at that time, and Jijan Bai was that woman who was in the day was fighting with the Britisher and at night was dancing in front of them. Ajijan Bai was a very beautiful face, and she attract people very well, and she work with the Tata Tope as an investigation, because she give information required to Tatya Tope and whatever they needed. So in this way, Ajijan Bai have spent their life wholly towards their towards the independence. And meanwhile, there is a time when the Tatya Tope and Nana Sahib were defeated in the Bitaspur fight, in which there is only option left to escape from there. But until then, they did set, but Ajijan Bai have fall in the hand of Britishers. Britishers caught Ajijan Bai and presented in front of the general manager of the Britishers. And the general manager were impressed with the beauty of the Ajijan Bai, and he said that if you apologize what you did, so I will forgive you and you will continue with your dancing and singing, whatever you are doing. But Ajijan Bai was a great lady, do not want to apologize of whatever he, because he know that he doing nothing wrong about whatever he did. So he doesn't get apologies. And after hearing the answer of the dancer, the Britisher were gave the order to the audience. Britisher were give the orders to their soldiers to that to put the Ajijan on the that at and after that Ajijan Bai got death by the soldiers. And after that, I would like to say that not a individual after death of an individual, not the idea will get die, because his or her idea will get alive in the thousands of life, and it will become an inspiration for all the people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kajal. You have spoken very well. Now I would like to call the next participant, serial number 13, Vaishnavi Singh from BTech ECE first year.
Hello everyone, am I audible?
Yes,
Hello.
you are audible.
Good afternoon, respected chief guest and judge. My name is Vaishnavi Singh and I am from EC first year. And my today's topic is Savitri Bai. Savitri Bai was born on January 3rd, 1831 in Maharashtra, Nayagaon district. All her life, she and her husband Jyotiba Phule fought social evils and discrimination towards women and children. Even as she battled abuses, isolation because she worked to educate girls and untouchable. In many ways, she inspired a generation of young women across India to never give up the fight for their rights. Here are some important lessons we can learn from her. It's never too late to learn. Back in those days, women had zero rights and very little say in their life decision. It did not matter that Savitri Bai was born to a wealthy family. She too had to follow the customs of a village and was married off early. Savitri Bai was 9 when she wed Jyotirao Phule. Her husband was 12. She was lucky than many girls of her time. Her husband educated her at home. Once literate, she started educating the young girls in her area, which included untouchables and people from the lower strata of society. In 1848, the couple started India's first school for girls at Bhidewada in Pune. She was the first headmistress of the school. practice what you preach. The keepers of the caste system in India notoriously kept away the poor and unprivileged people from the basic resources. One of them was drinking water. Savitribai questioned the discrimination, and when the Brahmins and upper caste society refused to budge, she declared that the well in her house could be accessed by all. She wasn't just preaching, she led by example. Be the change you want to see in the world. Savitribai and Jyoti Rao did not have children, so they adopted a child of a widow Brahmin who was going to commit suicide because I'm sorry, sir. Savitribai. She stopped her and promised her that she will take care of child even when she was born. Later, he became the doctor. Hard work can move mountains. There were several instances when Savitribai and her husband were targeted by the powerful, and Savitribai would have given up too had it not been the support and love of her husband. She continued her fight, underrated to the end, and inspired many women, children to join the support and cause. Always give more than what you get. Most of Savitribai work was in and around Pune. She started the Bal Hatya Pratibandhak Griha to fight against female infanticide so that widows and rape victims can give birth. Along with Yashwant Rao, she set up a health center at outskirts of Pune to treat those affected by plague. In March 1897, Savitribai died from infection caused by treating one such patient at the center. Today we see that girls go to school, college, and excel in every walk of life along with men. These are possible because of Savitribai Phule and his husband Jyoti Rao Phule. At last, I will conclude my speech with the famous saying of Savitribai Phule, awake, arise and educate, smash tradition, liberate. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Vaishnavi. You have spoken very well. Now I will request and invite our next participants number 18, Manik from MBA IV.
So, is I'm audible?
Yes, you are audible.
So, should I start?
Yes, you can start now.
Okay. So, a very warm good afternoon to all present here. Myself, Manik Thakral, student of Haryana School of Business from Guru Jambeshwar University of Science and Technology. Today, I am standing here and feeling patriotic to imbibe my views and to share my views on the leader Savitribai Phule. So, I would like to start this elocution with one such bit of Hindi शायरी for her. कामयाब वे नहीं होते जिनके पास सब कुछ होता है, कामयाब वे नहीं होते जिनके पास सब कुछ होता है, पर वे होते हैं जिनके पास जो होता है वे उन्हें बना लेते हैं। वे वो होते हैं जो सब बना लेते हैं और जो हर किसी के दिलों में अपनी छाप छोड़ जाते हैं। That such personality was Savitribai Phule, born in 1831. The India was waiting for her. The women education was waiting for her. The goddess Savitri avatar came into her and she entered in the country with the name of Savitribai Phule. Savitribai Phule was married to Jyotibai Phule in 1840 when she was 9. At the age of 9, she was married. She was thinking that I could have done much more in my life, but cribbing the problems that she has her in life, she moved on and she focused that what she can do better. So she used to take lessons from her husband, and she used to write a lot. And due to that, she became expert in reading and writing and starting reading much more literature about the history and the modernization era that would that would be coming to her and that she would be taking forward. So after that, she used to take tuitions for the women's, for the underprivileged women's and the untouchables in the society. And slowly and gradually, she became a women teacher, the first women teacher in the country, the first women teacher in the country. And with the help of her husband, she started a school for women, a school for women for formalizing the education, formalizing the women education in the country. She was the trailblazer in the women education and a beacon of feminism in India. She was the brightest future of, she was the brightest future producer of our country. Jyotirao Phule, her husband, was also a culturally driven guy, so he helped her a lot. He helped in every bit that he could. But in 1890, he died and he passed that benevolency to Savitri Bai Phule. Savitri Bai Phule worked as the bestest teacher of the country and forced educationalists to introduce women also in the field of education. Education for women was a taboo in 19th century, but Savitri Bai Phule was the flag bearer of women education. She contributed as such that every woman in our country in nowadays is being educated. The education has become the right for the women of our country, and that had made her live in our hearts at each and every moment of time. So I would like to thank Savitri Bai Phule for her contribution, and I would like to recite a small poem for her. भारतीय नारी को नारी बनाने के लिए जिस नारी का जन्म होना था वह नारी थी सावित्री। भारतीय नारी को नारी बनाने के लिए जिस नारी का जन्म होना था वह थी सावित्री। और पूरी कायनात में भारतीय महिलाओं की छवि बनाने के लिए जो नारी चाहिए थी वह थी सावित्री। धन्यवाद एंड जय हिंद।
Thank you so much, Manik. You have really spoken very well. Thanks for sharing your views and ideas. Now calling our next participants, serial number 22, Raman Power from BTech IT first year.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Freedom is the goal of all nature, our thoughts, our words, and the threads of the net, which we throw around ourselves. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Raman Pawar, and I am from BTech in first year from IT department from GJU. Today, I am here to present speech. Before I begin my speech, I would like to respect, thanks, and acknowledge the traditional owners of the land upon which we meet. In this speech, I will be talking to you about one of the freedom fighters, Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda. Firstly, I would tell you about the biography of Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda was one of the most popular spiritual world Hindu monk and spiritual leader of India. He was one of the spiritual leader and great philosopher around the world. His name was Narendranath Dutt, and he was born on 12 January 1863 into a Bengali caste family of Calcutta. Then I would tell you about his family life. He was one of the 8 siblings. His father's name was Vishwanath Dutt, and he was a great practitioner at the Calcutta High Court. And his mother's name was Bhuvaneshwari Devi, and she was a housewife. He was a brilliant boy, and he was active in music, gymnastics, and studying. He was an extraordinary boy with spiritual thoughts. His education was irregular, but he completed his graduation from the University of Calcutta, and he gained knowledge about various subjects, including Western philosophy and history. He was born with a yogic nature, practiced meditation, and he was very keen to learn God from his childhood. He was also interested in Hindu scriptures like the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and the Vedas. Swami Vivekananda's speech at Parliament of the World Regions in Chicago in 1893 made him profoundly famous. He began his speech with Sisters and Brothers of America, which won many hearts. Swami Vivekananda founded the Ramakrishna Math and Ramakrishna Mission. Swami Vivekananda's birthday anniversary on 12 January celebrated as a National Youth Day in India. He died on 4 July 1902 while meditating. His disciples believed that he attained Mahasamadhi. So we celebrate his birthday anniversary as a 12th January every year as a National Youth Day. Thank you all for your patience. I wish you all a very good evening. Goodbye.
Thank you so much, Raman. You have spoken very well. Now calling our next participants, serial number 25, Pradeep from BTech IT first year. So now calling our next participant, serial number 26, Manesh from BSc second year.
No, Pradeep was present, na? So volunteers should unmute the participants because they are automatically muted. They cannot unmute themselves. So it is duty of volunteers to unmute. Please unmute Pradeep. Yes, Pradeep, start.
Pradeep, you can start now.
उसको अनम्यूट तो करो कोई. Some volunteer should take care of this particular duty, na?
So there is a technical error. I'm trying to unmute you.
हो गया. Yes, Pradeep, start. नहीं. Some problem is there. ठीक है. So we can go ahead.
Prakash, Pradeep will continue it last. You can carry on.
Okay. So calling our next participant, serial number 26, Manesh from BSc second year from Guru Jambeshwar University of Science and Technology.
May I start now, sir?
Yes, you can start now.
Okay, sir. Take risk in your life. If you win, you can lead. If you lose, you can guide. Swami Vivekananda, one of the India's greatest spiritual leaders, once said that education is not the amount of information that we put into your mind and runs through it there undigested all the life. You must have man making, life building, and character making, and assimilation of idea. If you have assimilated 5 ideas and made them your life and character, then you have more education than any man who got by heart whole library. My heartiest greeting to honorable chief guest officers, judges, and my dear friends, myself Nesimar, and today I am here to speak about one of the greatest spiritual master of India, Swami Vivekananda. We can call Swami Vivekananda the powerhouse of energy, spirituality, and resolve power, self-confidence, and energy of thoughts. Not only India, but the whole world gets energy from him. Swami Vivekananda ji showed the seeds of self-confidence, self-eminent, self-respect, and independence in the mind of people of India. He taught the people of India to love their nation. Swami Vivekananda's real name was Narendranath Datta and was born on 12th of January in 1863 in Calcutta. His father Vishwanath Datta was an attorney in Calcutta High Court. He was from a highly educated family.
and was a gifted child with high thinking and intelligent mind and strong willpower. His mother, Bhuneswari Devi, was a devoted housewife. His mother played an important role in shaping his thinking and personality. From a very easy age, he used to meditate for a long time. The greatest achievement of Swami Vivekananda's life was that he made the world realize to the power of India. Swami Vivekananda was a genius man who had the full knowledge of Vedas. His precious knowledge proved him to be the greatest man in the history of India. When we are talking about Swami Vivekananda's life, and we don't even mention about his guru Sri Ram Krishna Paramahansa, then it is not done. Ram Krishna Paramahansa was an unmatched guru, and Swami Vivekananda was a wonderful disciple. Her guru used to win hearts, guru was to live in hearts, and his disciple, his devotee Vivekananda used to have wisdom, his pair. This pair a unique match, and it makes this pair so special. In the era when Swami Vivekananda was at his peak, India was the slave of British. At that time, he addressed the young generation of India by saying that arise, awake, and not stop till the goal is achieved. Year 1896, when the world first parliament of religions was held in Chicago, at that time, Swami Vivekananda gave a wonderful speech with the words as brothers and sisters of America, which surprised the whole world. You should love to know that the 7,000 people listening to his words at that time stood up and played applause for about 2 minutes and also complimented Swami Vivekananda. Now, at last, I would like to salute Swami Vivekananda and his thoughts. May these thoughts always remain immortal even after our next 1,000 generation. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you so much, Manish. You have really spoken very well. Now calling our next participant, serial number 27, Vansika from BTech CSE first year.
4 मिनट तो ऊपर हो लिया था 4 मिनट तो ऊपर हो लिया था मेरे गुण बेटिया कितना के जो तने बुक कर करया मैंने को थोड़ा हट सी लिया तो जो करो मैं भगवान
Yeah, hi everyone. Just make me sure about my audio and video connectivity. Am I audible?
Yes, Manisha.
Yes, you are audible.
Go ahead.
Okay, hi. Greetings to everyone present here. I am Vanshika and I am doing BTech in CSE AI ML from Gurugram University of Science and Technology. दे दे हर नारी में तू अपने प्राण दे दे हर नारी में तू अपने प्राण भर दे माँ हर नारी में पुण्य तू प्राण. Here the beautiful word ma is used for Savitri Bai Phule. Yes, today I am going to throw light on the biography of Savitri Bai Phule. Savitri Bai Phule was born on 3rd January 1831 at Nagaon in Maharashtra's Satara district. She was the eldest daughter of Lakshmi and Khandoji Neveshe Patil, both of whom belonged to a Mali community, now an other backward caste. At the age of 9, she was married to 13-year-old Jyotirao Phule. Savitri was not educated at the time of her marriage as she was from a backward caste and a woman. The dominant Brahmin caste didn't allow men, and women to get an education at that time. Jyotirao Phule, better known as Jyotiba, for instance, was forced to leave his school just because of his caste. However, on encouragement of the Persian scholar Ghaffar Beg Munshi and a British official Nizir Sahab, Jyotirao Phule was enrolled in a Scottish missionary school where he studied till class 7. It is important to understand the milieu in which the young Savitri grew up. Public education was yet to emerge, and there were only a few missionary schools which were open to all. Brahmins were the only caste group that could take a lead in setting up schools. This was the context in which young Savitri at the age of 17 and Jyotirao Phule at the age of 21 opened up a school for women in 1848. This was the country's first school for women, which was started by the Indians. It is said that Savitribai Phule used to carry an extra sari while walking towards her work. As people used to hurl stones and dung at her, apart from the verbal abuses. By the end of 1851, the Phules were running 3 schools in Pune, and there were 150 number of girl students. And soon after, the number of girls in their school outnumbered with that of the boys in government school. In 1849, Jyotiba's father asked the couple to move out of the house since the work they were engaged in was considered as a sin according to the Brahminical texts. They stayed with the family of a friend of Jyotiba, where Savitribai Phule met Fatima Begum Sheikh, who already knew how to read and write, went along with Savitribai Phule to the normal school. They both graduated together. She was the first women Muslim teacher of India. Savitribai Phule was also a fiery author. She published Kavya Phule in 1854 and Bhavan Kashi Subodh Ratnakar in 1892. In her poem, Go Get Education, she urges the oppressed communities to get education and break free from the caste oppression. And she also started the Home for Prevention of the Infanticide in her house, a place where Brahmin widows could deliver their babies safely. In fact, they could leave them there if they think they cannot take care of those child. In fact, Savitribai Phule also adopted a child named Yashwant born at the shelter. She also campaigned against child marriage and widow remarriage. She initiated the first Satya Shodak marriage, a marriage without dowry. Yashwant too had a Satya Shodak intercaste marriage. Even 1.5 century later, we still witness the case of caste-based killings. When Jyotiba died, there was an argument between Yashwant and a family member about who would light the fire. While the argument was going on, Jyotiba took up the fire and light the fire. Hence, she was also given the title Kranti Jyoti. Savitribai Phule died on 10 March 1897. Her achievements were diverse and numerous, but they all had a singular effect, posing for a brave and pioneering challenge to Manuwadi culture. Well, Savitribai Phule, Fatima Sheikh are the reasons why women are getting an education today. They are feminist icons who define intersectional feminism through their lives and work. In 2014, University of Pune was named as Savitribai Phule University in the recognition of her life and work. It is ironical that the Indian feminist movement doesn't acknowledge these women. Instead, their role is confined to the work done for certain communities. We need to understand that we cannot fight for women's rights without acknowledging the intersection of caste and gender. Now, I would like to give an end to my words by saying a few words on the modern feminists who don't even know what feminism actually is. Dear modern feminists, if you think smoking cigars and drinking alcohol would make you cool, then I guess you are wrong. If you think arguing with your parents and comparing yourself with your brothers would make you a feminist, then I guess you are completely wrong. If you are finding the feminism in the voice of pub and parties, then I think you are wrong. If you really want to know what feminism actually is, you should turn the pages of Indian history and find out who actually Savitribai Phule was. Hats off to such a brave and great lady. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Bansika. You have spoken very well. Now calling our next participant, serial number 28, Dia from BTech CSE first semester.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. You may not control all the events that happens to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. Hey everyone, this is Dia from BTech CSE first year. Yeah, we'll be talking about a lady, Rani Ganlilu, who was one of the few women political leaders who exhibited her outstanding courage during the colonial periods. And they helped our country a lot. Rani Ganlilu, born on 26 Jan 1950. She belongs to a clan of district Manipur. She was fifth of the 8 children, including 6 sisters and 1 younger brother. At the age of 13, she joined a movement that was a religious movement of her cousin Happy Jordan. Her association with the Jordan prepared her to fight. The movement later turned into a political movement, seeking to drive out British from the Manipur and the surrounding Naga areas. At the age of 16, she was arrested because she started a serious revolt against the British and was eventually imprisoned for life. Jawaharlal Nehru met her at Shillong jail in 1937. He promised to pursue her release. Actually, Rani Ganlilu was not a queen. Jawaharlal Nehru gave her a title of Rani, and she later on got popularity as Rani Ganlilu. She was released after 14 years in 1947 after India's independence. She again worked for the upliftment of the society, and in 1953, she met Jawaharlal Nehru, the Prime Minister of India, in Imphal and conveyed him the goodwill of the people. She again met Nehru in Delhi, where she discussed him about the welfare and the development of people. She was awarded with the Tamprata Freedom Fighter in 1972, Padma Bhushan in 1982, Vivekananda Seva Award in 1983. She was also conferred to Birsa Munda posthumously. Every woman's success should be an inspiration to us. We are strongest when we cheer each other. Thank you all for giving me such a great opportunity to speak a few words about our real heroes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dia. You have spoken very well. Now calling our next participant, serial number 29, Charvi Sandilya from MSc Math first year. Participants, serial number 29, Charvi Sandilya.
Hello everyone. Myself Charvi Shandile. I am a student of MSc Maths first year, and my topic for today's elocution contest is Mahadev Govind Ranade. Mahadev Govind Ranade, and he was a social reformer, a judge, and an author. He was born on 18th of Jan 1842 in a Brahmin family of Maharashtra. He did his schooling in Kolhapur in Maharashtra, and went to Bombay for his further studies. He got his degree in BA and LLB. Later, he joined Later, he joined as a judge in Pune in 1871. In 1871, the main three motives of him was humanize, equalize, and spiritualize. The main three pillars that he was working throughout his life was women empowerment and spiritualism and politics. First of all, I want to tell you about women empowerment. So, as I said, that he was a social reformer. He raised the issue of humanize and equalize. For this, he raised his campaign against child marriages, sati pratha, and parda system. Also, for working in context of child marriages, child against the child marriages, he started he started conference he started conference and so that to against work against the child marriage. Also, he worked for the betterment of Hindu widows. At that time, it was not allowed for the Hindu widows to remarry, but he started um, widow remarriage system so that Hindu widows can also remarry and live his life in a better way. Also, he uh, he started he campaigned for the female education as well. He started a school, a girls' school for girls so that they can pursue their higher education as well. Not only this, he also Ranade also ensures that his own wife, Ramabai, get a higher education. Also, in for point number two, spiritualism. He always believed in the idea of God and spiritualism. He was on this point that the Hindu culture was based on was laid too much pressure on the Hindu cultures, but they should only believe only in the idea of God and not only on these cultures. So he started a campaign, a reformed campaign, that is Pratna Samaj, which was working in this field without harming the customs and the ancient cultures of Hindu cultures. Third, he was very active in politics. He co-founded the Indian National Congress. He was one of the co-founder of Indian National Congress, and he understood the need for India to become self-dependent at that time. He was against the British practice to use India as a manufacturer of raw materials and export it to make money. He also authored some books. For example, he also authored some books like Maratha history and Indian economics. He uh, Rana Day also worked for a magazine, and depending on his thoughts, in this way, he tried his best to reform the society, and on we lost this special person on 16th of Jan 1901. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Avi. You have really spoken very well. Now calling our next participants, serial number 30, Deepak from BTech IT first semester.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening to all the respected judges, guests, participants, and all the viewers of this event. Myself, Deepak Sangwan, and I am from BTech IT first year from Guru Jambeshwar University of Science and Technology, Hisar. First of all, I would like to appreciate this amazing step taken by the Speakathon Club under the direction of Shri Pratap Malik sir, this Azadi AmritMahotsav Series, which leads to students know about the unsung heroes of our freedom and then tell their views, their life to our fellow members. In this series today, I have chosen one of such unsung heroes of our freedom movement, Sardar Seva Singh. Sardar Seva Singh was a hero in Punjab who fought against the rulers who were oppressing the common people of Punjab and fought against the injustice done on them. He was born in 1878 in Thikrewal in Patiala state of the British India. He belonged to a very wealthy family. His father was Deva Singh, who was an important official in the court of the Maharaja of Patiala, Rajendra Singh. He did his schooling in Patiala. He learned several languages during his schooling, including Persian, Urdu, Punjabi, and English. Later, he was also appointed as an official in the court of Patiala, but this was not what he was looking for. He had interest in educational movements and other freedom fighting movements, Sikh Sabha movements of that time. During 1920s, Praja Mandals were formed across India who were fighting against the oppressions done by the rulers of the princely states and against the British rulers as well. He was the leader of Punjab Riyasati Praja Mandal, who was handling and who was fighting against the oppression done by the rulers of Punjab. He was jailed in 1928 for just a minor theft, which was not even proved. For that, Khadag Singh and many of his followers found this and raised their voice against it. In the jail, Sardar Seva Singh went on hunger strike for the ill treatment given to the prisoners there. This thing got highlighted, and he was released in 1928. Later, his popularity grew in Punjab more and more, which led to the ruler of Punjab to negotiate with him. He had clear demand of an democratic rule in Punjab, which was not passed by the ruler, and the negotiation went in vain. Then in 1931, he went to Shimla for one of the meeting of Praja Mandal, but it was not it couldn't happen due to some disturbances. Although he found a way and talked to Mahatma Gandhi about the condition of the people and in the Punjab state. Later, he joined more such conferences happening throughout the India, including Delhi and many other places. He kept this moment, his voice. He raised his voice against the injustice done on the people by the ruler of Punjab. He was jailed in 1932 for 3 years for his movements, and he went on hunger strike there as well, and he passed away in 1935. So now I would like to highlight what values we can take from his life. He had a lavish life. He could live easily because his father was healthy and he was an official as well. But he didn't choose that. He saw that injustice happening to the common people and thought to fight against them, as there was no leader for them. I would like to encourage the youth of today that not to think about themselves, think about the people to which injustice is being done, and help them any way they can do. Thank you for giving me a chance to speak.
Thank you so much, Deepak. You have really spoken very well. Now calling our next participants, serial number 31, Aman Soni from BTech CSE first year. Please turn on your audio and video.
Okay, so I am audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Good afternoon to one and all present here, the judges, the training and placement cell coordinator and director, and all the audience. This is Aman Soni, a first year computer science engineering graduate at Guru Jambheshwar University of Science and Technology. So First of all, I am very thankful to the Training and Placement Cell for giving me such a wonderful opportunity to present myself, which helps me in boosting my confidence and helps me to better my communication skills. So as we know that the Azadi AmritMahotsav Series is going on, and we know about many leaders. So today I am tell the story about one unsung leader uh, whose name was Gain Singh. So if we talk about Gain Singh, so he was a local jamidar in a Chhattisgarh in a village called Paralkot. So he belongs to the jamidar family. So he has a many great works in the independence of the Chhattisgarh. So in the year 1825, there was a control of Britishers and Marathas in Chhattisgarh, and they had very injustice with the people of the Chhattisgarh in the Bastar region. So they had imposed a very heavy tax on the people of the Bastar, which was impossible for them to pay, and they had exploited the people very hardly. So by this, there was a revolt of Paralkot, which was in the leadership of the Gain Singh. He collected all the local peasants and the workers and with himself, and they had a war. They had war with the Britishers and Marathas, and he competed with them well. But and he wants a Bastar, a region free from the British intrusions, and he want a Bastar, a region which is free from the evils done by the Marathas and Bastars earlier. So but at the last, the result of the battle is as that he did not completely win the battle in the Bastar, and he was hanged on in Paralkot in 1825. But it starts the independence feeling in the people of the Chhattisgarh. So at he also known as the first martyr of the Chhattisgarh, and this is all about the story of the Gain Singh. And at last, I want to say Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you so much, Aman. You have really spoken very well. Now calling our next participant, Susama from MSc Math first year.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Myself, Susma, student of MSc Mathematics first year from Guru Jambeshwar University of Science and Technology, Hisar. I want to give my viewpoints on one of the most prominent social reformer, educationalist, poet, Savitribai Phule. Born on 3 January 1831, she in Satara district, Maharashtra. She got married at the age of 10 to Jyotirao Phule, who was an anti-caste social reformer, thinker, poet, and social activist. He made her one of the literate women of her time, and she became the first woman teacher of India. She they began first ever indigenous school for girls in Pune, Bidewada, and they worked for various social upliftments like to give education to women and lower caste people. They formed Satya Samaj in 1873 in Pune, and to make aware them about the exploiting nature of society, and to aware about their social and political rights. Also, they worked against the Sati Pratha and fought against child marriage. Also, to eradicate the gender bias, untouchability, and they also prevent female infanticide. Her efforts to make the to prevent women from widows from killing, made her to set up Bal Hatya Pratiradak Graha. And also they formed Mahila Seva Sadan in 1952 to make people conscious about their women dignity and rights. They also formed first ever prohibition infanticide prohibition home in 1852 and campaign against child marriage and sport widow remarriage. Also, her books like Kavya Phule, Bhavan, Kasi Subodh Ratnakar have immense importance even at the time of British India. In her poem, Go and Get Education, they support the oppressed community to get education and break all the barriers. And also, they do not have children, so they adopted a son, and she died on 10 March 1897 during caring of a patient infected due to bubonic plague. And we must learn some life lessons from her lifespan, like it's never too late to learn. Hard work can move mountains, and practice what you preach, and always be determined. She was the real inspiration for us, and we must respect our freedom fighters and our nation always. So thank you everyone for such opportunity.
Thank you so much, Sushma. You have really spoken very well. Now calling our next participant, serial number 33, Sakshi Duan from BSc Honors Math second year.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Honorable Chief Guest, our judges, and everyone present here, a very warm and pleasant good evening. Today, I, Sakshi, student of BSc Honors Mathematics second year, want to tell you about an unsung freedom fighter, Ram Singh Kuka. I am very thankful of T&P Cell for organizing Azadi AmritMahotsav Series so that we can participate in it. Thank you, sir. Many of you haven't listened this name before, so please listen me carefully so that you will never forget this name. Ram Singh Kuka, born on 3 February 1860. Political tool. He was born. His mother was sent to learn carpenter's job. So his father sent him to the army of Sher Singh. Ram Singh Kuka was a member of a unit of Sir Prince Nonial Singh's Paltan of Bagal regiment. His regiment was sent to Peshawar to bring royal coffers. On his way back, the मतलब he was waiting for Ram Singh Fupa. He gave him batasa, that is a sugar bubbles, coconut, 5 paise coin, and took 5 rounds around him in reverence, and bowed before him. He was made the next Udasi saint in the Balak Das lineage. He used the revolt of 1857 for his advantage and treated the son Khalsa. He died on 29 December 1885, but the Kukas still believe that he will come one day and will lead their community. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Sakshi. You have really spoken very well. Now, coming to our next participant, serial number 36, Sonia Devi from MSc Math first year.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Sonia, a student of MSc Mathematics first year of Guru Jambeswar University of Science and Technology, Hisar. Today, I want to tell about a great leader, Mahadev Govind Ranade. Mahadev Govind Ranade was born on 18 January 1842 in Nifad, a taluka town of Nasik district, Maharashtra. Mahadev Govind Ranade was a social reformer, a scholar and a founding member of the Indian National Congress. He was one of the foremost social reformer who denounced caste system and untouchability. Mahadev Govind Ranade advocated social reforms like widow remarriage and liberation of women and emancipation of the oppressed classes. Mahadev Govind Ranade, also referred as a Justice Ranade. As a judge, he exercised his power to promote the educations and rescuing children and women from social injustice, protection of agriculture farmers and land tenants from exploitation. He always advocated the use of constitutional and legal way to promote the social reforms. Later, he became involved in the number of working a large number of institutions aiming at social, economic, and political advancement of India, like Pune Sarvajanik Sabha, Social Conference, and Prarthana Samaj. As a founder member of the Indian National Congress, his influence was inescapable. He was also considered as a great historian who played a decisive role in the modernization of Indian economy. He also has been called a father of Indian economy. And he also wrote a book on Indian economy and the Maratha Samaj, which include the power of the Marathas. He always says that Western education is a vital element for the new and progressive India. As a social reformer, a lover of justice, and he and a believer of equality, he influenced many social reformers. And a famous quote written by Mahadev Govind Ranade
Hello.
Hello.
Now calling our next participants. Participant number 38, Manisha from B Pharmacy third year.
Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. Take risks in your life. If you win, you can lead. If you lose, you can guide. Swami Vivekananda was one of the India's the greatest spiritual leader. Once taught that education is not the amount of information that you put into your mind and throw out there and digest it all your life. And digest it all your life. He taught and digested all your life. My heartiest greetings to the chief guest, respected teachers, and my dear friends. Swami Vivekananda was one of the greatest spiritual person of India, and he taught and he was the powerhouse of energy, and he was very self-confident, self-eminent, and the person who loved their nation. His father, Vishwanath Datta, was an attorney in Calcutta High Court. His father was gifted with the child having high thinking, high spirituality, and high self-confidence, self-eminent, and the real name of the Swami Vivekananda was Narendranath Datta. His mother, Bhuvneshwari Devi, was a devoted housewife, and the Swami Vivekananda was highly inspired by his mother, and his mother played an important role in building his life and his thinking, his personality, and he also used to meditate for very longer time from his early age. And the greatest achievement of the Swami Vivekananda's life is that he proud Indian. That he made the India proud in the world. And in the meeting, he started his word. With the line that arise, awake, and not stop until your goal is achieved. He motivated the persons sitting around in the meeting. And in 1863, when the world's first meeting of the Parliament of the Religions, then he gave the wonderful speech, and he started his words as brothers and sisters of America. Then the person sitting in the meeting were surprised, and they stood up and give applause for approximately 2 minutes to him, and commended Swami Vivekananda. The Swami Vivekananda was a person who had the knowledge of the Vedas, and he inspired the students, and his motivational words are very inspiring. And his birth anniversary 12th January 1863 was celebrated as National Youth Day of India. And at last, I want to thank you all. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Manisha. You have spoken very well. Now comes to the next participants. Serial number 4, Rohit Kumar from BTech EC first year. Serial number 4, Rohit Kumar.
I guess Prakash Rohit is not present in the meeting. You can carry on. Wait, he is present.
Okay, moving ahead. Next participant is serial number 15, Monica from BSc Economics.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
First of all, wish a very good evening to all of you. I am Monica, student of BSc Honours Economics from Guru Jambeshwar University of Science and Technology in Hisar. I want to represent my point of view on the famous personality Govind Mahadev Govind Ranade. Rao Bahadur Mahadev Govind Ranade was popularly referred to the Justice Ranade, was an Indian scholar, social reformer, judge and author. He was born on 18 January 1842 into a Chitpon Brahmin family in Nepal in Nasik district. He studied in a Marathi school in Kolhapur. At the age of 14, he went to the study at Elphinstone College, Bombay. He obtained BA degree in 1862 and after 4 years later, he obtained his degree in LLB. Mahadev Govind Ranade did work in many fields. He did work in judging, social activism, female emancipation and the girls' education. In 1866, he became a judge. Mahadev Ranade became a judge and we all know that Mahadev Ranade referred as the Justice Ranade. न्याय की है वह मूर्ति, न्याय की है वो मूर्ति जिसने हमेशा सभी के साथ इंसाफ किया, हमेशा सबका साथ निभाया और दुनिया में भारत देश में अपना नाम kamaya. He also deeply influenced by the Western culture and he summarized the mission of Indian social reform movement as being to humanize, equalize and spiritualize. He also did the work against the Prada system. Prada system, which means the keeping the woman behind the veil. He also did the work on the child marriage. He also says that the heavy cost of wedding and the caste restriction was nothing for any all. He also did the work for girls' education. In 1885, Mahadev Govind Ranade, Vaman Modak and Dr. R.J. Bhandarkar established the Maharashtrian Girls Education Society and he established Huzur Paga, which was the eldest girls' high school. In the television series on G Marathi named Uncha Maja Joa, based on Ramabai and Mahadev Govind Ranada's life and their development as women's rights. In this television series, Mahadev Govind Ranade always said, actually his name was Mahadev Govind Ranade, then he says, I am not Vishnu, I am Vishnu, not Shiva. Actually, he says always, I am Vishnu, not a Shiva. So, आओ मिलकर, आओ सभी मिलकर, आओ झुककर करे सलाम जिनकी जिंदगी में ये मुकाम आया, आओ झुककर करे सलाम जिनकी जिंदगी में ये मुकाम आया, कितने खुशनसीब होंगे वो लोग जिनका लहू हमारे देश भारत के काम आया, जिनका लहू हमारे देश भारत के काम आया। थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you so much, Monica. You have really spoken very well. Now calling our next participants, serial number 25, Pradeep from BTech IT first year. Serial number 25, Pradeep.
Prakash, there is a problem with their network issue, so go for next participant.
Okay, then serial number 4, Rohit Kumar.
Rohit, please try to unmute yourself. We have given you the access.
Yes, you are audible now.
Good evening, Committee Department of Swami Vivekananda. I have decided to speak on this very close. Swami Vivekananda, reformer and a very inspiring Swami Vivekananda and the 12th January 1833.
Okay, thank you all the participants. You all have spoken very well. Now I would like to call our first judges, Dr. Mahavir sir from Chemistry Department. Sir, please come forward and say a few words to our participants.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Most respected chief guest of today's event, Professor Vinod Kumar Bisnoy ji, Director Placement Dr. Pratap ji Malik ji, Coordinator Ranjit ji, आदित्य सर, और जो एंकर हैं प्रभजोत, प्रतिभा शायद,
प्रकाश सर,
प्रकाश, yes, प्रकाश. On the event of 19th, I think it is 19th serial of your Amrit Mahotsav Series episode. So I first thankful to Dr. Malik, Pratap Malik sir, for giving me opportunity to act as a judge, which is a difficult task to judge any, we can say, speech or any other competition. And at the same time, I am thankful to Pratap sir, because when I joined this, we can say, program today, I hear the name of many of our, we can say, freedom fighters that were, we can say, unseen heroes. And that gives very, we can say, knowledge to me as well, and for the participant as well. I think 22 participants were there, who speak on their respective heroes. I would say the hero because they selected the name, or I should the personality about which they have to speak. विवेकानंदा पे 6 पार्टिसिपेंट ने बोला है, सावित्री बाई फुले पे 6 पार्टिसिपेंट ने बोला है, गोविंद महादेव रानाडे पे 3 पार्टिसिपेंट्स ने बोला है, अजीजन बाई पे शायद 1 है, और रानी गैदलिनी पे 2 बोले हैं, सरदार सेवा सिंह पे 2 पार्टिसिपेंट ने बोला है, राम सिंह कुका पे 1 पार्टिसिपेंट ने बोला है, गेम सिंह पे 1 पार्टिसिपेंट ने बोला है। टोटल 22 पार्टिसिपेंट ने अपना स्पीच जो है दिया। और मुझे ये कहते हुए लग रहा है कि बहुत ही अच्छी उन्होंने अपनी स्पीच, अपनी जो तैयार किया था कंटेंट। बट एट द सेम टाइम मैं पार्टिसिपेंट्स को ये भी कहना चाहूँगा कि जो रूल रेगुलेशंस हैं, जो टाइम का है, मैंने जो पार्टिसिपेंट वर टाइम आउट, दे डोंट look towards the time and the distribution of marks that was given to them. कंटेंट आपका बेटर जो है, आपकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज, आपका कॉन्फिडेंस, आपका जो कंटेंट्स है, आप जिस पे बोल रहे हैं, वो सारे उन सभी का एक कलेक्टिव जो कलेक्शन है, उसके बेस पे ही आपका जो है हम मार्क्स लगाते हैं। तो कुछ स्टूडेंट तो आपके वैसे ही डिस्क्वालीफाई हो गए ड्यू टू द ओवर टाइम। ठीक है, तो मेरी पार्टिसिपेंट से ये रिक्वेस्ट है और एक सजेशन है कि आप जब भी किसी इवेंट में पार्टिसिपेट करते हैं तो अपना जो टाइम लिमिट है, उसकी वजह से आप डिस्क्वालीफाई क्यों हो रहे हो? आप उसको तैयार भी करते हो, प्रिपेयर भी करते हो, इतनी मेहनत भी करते हैं, और बिकॉज ऑफ दैट टाइम लिमिट यू सम टाइम बिकम डिस्क्वालीफाइड। तो मैं यही कहूंगा, एक अच्छा प्रयास है ट्रेनिंग एंड प्लेसमेंट डायरेक्टर प्रताप मलिक सर का, कि एक जो ये इवेंट है, जो हम कहते हैं आजादी अमृत महोत्सव सीरीज जो है, ये 75 एपिसोड शायद अगस्त 2022 तक चलेंगे। तो जैसे हम कहते हैं कि महात्मा गांधी जी ने ये कहा, स्वामी विवेकानंद जी ने ये कहा, उन्होंने ये किया। एक्चुअली मैं जितने भी पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं उनको एक मैसेज देना चाहता हूँ कि जो भी हमारे पीछे फ्रीडम फाइटर या सोशल रिफॉर्मर्स हुए हैं, हम उनको कोट करते हैं। उन्होंने ये कहा, देखा होगा आपने सभी पार्टिसिपेंट ने, कोई बात शुरू करनी है तो स्वामी विवेकानंद said that and the particular name they said that, तो वो उन्होंने कहा। अब उन्होंने कहा, अगर उन बातों को युवा अपने ऊपर अप्लाई करेंगे, उन्होंने क्या है कि उन्होंने युवाओं की एनर्जी को चैनलाइज करने के लिए एक प्लेटफॉर्म दिया है। उन्होंने कहा कि अगर आप ऐसे करेंगे तो आप ये बन जाएंगे, ऐसे करेंगे तो आप वो बन जाएंगे। तो उन्होंने तो कहा, हमने उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करना है, युवाओं ने उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करना है, बिकॉज जो एनर्जी है, जो एनर्जी को चैनलाइज करने का माध्यम उन्होंने हमें बताया, और हम उसको अगर करेंगे तो डेफिनेटली एक डायरेक्ट जो है नेशन के प्रति हमारा जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है, जो हमारी ड्यूटी बनती है, वो हम फुलफिल कर पाएंगे। तो इन सब बातों के साथ मैं अभी जो रिजल्ट है अभी सेंड कर रहा हूँ, जो नंबर मेरे पास आया हुआ है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। थैंक यू सर।
Thank you so much, sir, for your precious words and ideas. We are so honored to have you as our judges. Now I would like to call our second judge, Dr. Gitu Dhawan from Hindi.
हेलो, आप सुन पा रहे हैं?
यस मैम, यस मैम,
यस मैम।
आप सभी को नमस्कार। और बहुत देर से मैं सुन रही थी रिस्पेक्टेड डॉक्टर प्रताप मलिक जी, डॉक्टर रंजीत जी, प्रोफेसर वीके मलिक जी, वीके बिश्नोई जी, डॉक्टर महावीर जी, और इस इवेंट को ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहे प्रकाश, साथ में आदित्य और प्रतिभा जी भी हैं। तो मैं सबको यही कहूंगी कि सब कुछ डॉक्टर महावीर जी ने कह दिया है, और बहुत ही धैर्यपूर्वक जो है हमने सुना भी है सबको, और बच्चों का उत्साह जो है देखने लायक था। बच्चे बहुत अच्छे से अपने विषय पर जो है तैयारी करके भी आए हैं। ऐसा नहीं था कि उन्होंने पूर्व तैयारी कुछ नहीं की थी। लग रहा था कि जो प्रस्तुतिकरण है उनका, हाँ, कुछ खामियां जरूर रही, वो डॉक्टर महावीर जी ने इंगित भी की हैं। लेकिन जिस तरह से ये देश से जोड़ने वाला, समाज से जोड़ने वाला जो ये कार्यक्रम है, वो निश्चित रूप से सराहनीय है। और मैं कहूँगी कि जो स्पीकाथन की जो टीम है, ये क्लब जो है, वो बहुत अच्छा प्रयास कर रहा है, क्योंकि कहते हैं कि जो अ, देश और समाज से जुड़ता है, वो अपने दैनिक दिनचर्या से बहुत ऊपर उठ करके काम करता है। सारे कार्य करते हैं हर रोज अपने लिए, स्वार्थ के लिए, जीवन के लिए, दिनचर्या में जो हम जुड़े रहते हैं, लेकिन देश और समाज के लिए कुछ करना और उन लोगों के लिए सोचना जो कभी हमारे हीरो थे या जिन्होंने देश के लिए बलिदान दिया। तो मैं बस सारांश में केवल यही कहूंगी बच्चों कि इस तरह के प्रोग्राम्स जो हैं, इस तरह के कार्यक्रम जो है, सच में प्रेरित करने वाले हैं। और आप अगर कुछ पल के लिए भी उनकी जीवनी से जुड़ते हैं, जीवन से जुड़ते हैं, जिस तरह से स्वामी विवेकानंद की जीवनी आपने पढ़ी होगी, तब उसको कुछ तैयार किया होगा, तो आप निश्चित रूप से उनकी जीवनी से जब रूबरू होंगे तो आपको अपने आप ही लगेगा कि उन लोगों ने वाकई क्या किया है हमारे समाज को ऊपर उठाने के लिए और देश को ऊपर उठाने के लिए। तो अध्ययन और अध्यापन से जुड़े इस विश्वविद्यालय स्तर पर जो आप इस तरह के कार्यक्रम कर रहे हैं, निश्चित रूप से बेहद सराहनीय है। मैं टीम को भी साधुवाद देती हूँ और ट्रेनिंग एंड प्लेसमेंट सेल के डायरेक्टर डॉक्टर प्रताप मलिक जी को भी मैं साधुवाद करती हूँ। डॉक्टर रंजीत जी बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं। आप सभी को साधुवाद। और केवल बच्चों को इतना ही कहूंगी कि किसी भी प्रयास के प्रति नकारात्मकता नहीं होनी चाहिए। और 4 पंक्तियों में कहूंगी कि ले दे के अपने पास सिर्फ एक नजर तो है, ले दे के अपने पास सिर्फ एक नजर तो है, क्यों देखें किसी को किसी की नजर से हम, माना कि इस जमी को गुलजार न कर सके, पर कांटे कुछ कम तो कर दिए गुजरे जिधर से हम। बस हमने ये प्रयास करना है और कांटे जो हैं हमने अपनी राहों से भी हटाने हैं और दूसरों की राहों से भी हटाने हैं। तभी हमारा देश और समाज सुंदर और स्वच्छ बन पाएगा और हम देश से और समाज से जुड़ पाएंगे। बहुत बहुत साधुवाद। हमने बहुत धैर्यपूर्वक सुना है, हालांकि मैं वीडियो ऑन नहीं कर पाई, इसके लिए क्षमा प्रार्थी हूँ, क्योंकि मेरा छोटा बच्चा साथ ही खड़ा है तब से। तो लेकिन बड़े इत्मीनान से हमने सब सुने भी हैं और हमने आप लोगों का रिजल्ट भी साथ साथ तैयार किया है, जिसमें पूरी तरह से पारदर्शिता है। किसी भी बच्चे को ऐसा नहीं लगेगा, क्योंकि साथ ही साथ हम आपके नंबर लगाते हुए टीम को सेंड कर रहे थे। तो आपका प्रेजेंटेशन जो है लाइव चल रहा था, तो इधर से हम आपके नंबर भी लाइव लगा रहे थे। तो आपका रिजल्ट अभी टीम बना लेगी। और इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ जय हिंद, जय भारत।
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your precious words. We are so honored and privileged to have you as our judges today. Now, I would like to request Dr. Ranjit Dalal, sir, for declaring the result and vote of thanks.
Mahavir sir, please share the result.
Thank you, Prakash. I think this has been an excellent event where participants spoke on various legendary freedom fighters. Some of them are well known in mainstream media and to all of us, but some are very, very obscure from limelight. So it is really required that those people who really sacrifice their everything for the sake of our freedom, for the freedom of next generation, we should remember their contribution. And by this process, actually, we are inculcating a patriotism also in our youth and in our present generation. And that is very much required if we want to protect our freedom for next generation. And of course, you can see that there are many countries which are being embroiled in turmoil because their national spirit is quite weak. For example, Afghanistan, there are many sects where people consider their identity more important compared to their national identity. So it is very much required that we understand that our national identity is the foremost thing compared to any other identity. And a sense of patriotism is required for overall progress, for sense of security, and for our future generation. It is a must thing. If we want to give them a secure and a prosperous future, then the present generation must have a good patriotism, sense of patriotism. So this has been a 19th event from Speakathon Club for this Azadi AmritMahotsav event. We are going to complete 75 years of our freedom. And this is I think, very good time when we remember those freedom fighters. So for that, training and placement cell started these set of events, and I would like to congratulate all the team, all the Azadi AmritMahotsav team who have contributed very enthusiastically and done a lot of hard work to take care of every aspect of these events. So I really congratulate and really convey my thanks to whole of the team and our anchor Prakash Jha for nicely conducting the session, and for all the volunteers who have taken care of various aspects of the event. I am really happy that there were many good presentations. There were many very good presentation about freedom fighters. As Mahavir sir said, that there were different number of presentation for different freedom fighters, but I think content wise it was very good. So I convey my gratitude to all of the participants for their efforts and for nicely presenting their views on these freedom fighters. I hope that their presentation, their participation will continue for the future events also up to 15 August 2022. This set of monthly event will continue. And of course, I convey my sincere gratitude to our judges, Dr. Mahavir Prasad from Chemistry Department and Dr. Geetu Dhawan from Hindi Department. We are really thankful for them, for their excellent work, excellent judgment, and their motivating words to us. Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir. So, and of course, we are very enlightened to heard from our chief judge, Professor V.K. Vinod Kumar Bishnoi from Haryana School of Business. He is a very good researcher and a great teacher in and has been teaching there since 24 years. And we are very thankful that he was able to find out some time from his busy schedule, and he really motivated us with his enlightening word. Thank you, sir. I would like to convey my sincere thank you from whole of the team for agreeing to be our chief guest. So, of course, this whole set of event. Thank you, sir. So this whole set of event that is, of course, motivated and directed by our training and placement cell. We are especially thankful to Pratap Singh Malik ji, who motivated and who put immense hard work to take care of every aspect of this event. We are equally thankful to our Deputy Director, Aditya Veer ji. He was not able to join today, but he always direct us, and he's help in every aspect. So I think the results, Pratibha, have you prepared the results?
Yes, sir, I have shared in the group.
Okay. So initially we started with the weekly event, but we found that it would be more appropriate if these events are monthly event. So now we are celebrating. We are actually conducting these events on every month, 15th. So I think there are 6 or 7 other events that which will take place in next upcoming months. Okay, so here are the results. Manik, are you there? Manik was the participant number. Manik, Manik is third. The results are here. So Manik is considered third by our judges, by our respective judges. Then Ansul got the second position. Ansul, are you there? And the first position goes to Monica Sihag for her excellent presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Monica. So can we have a group photo? Please switch on the video, all the participants, respected judges, respected chief guest. Kindly switch on your video so that we can take a group photo also. So here we go. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir. At last, I want to say that your all presence made this day a memorable day. Thank you all for making your presence. And I will thank all the participants that you all have spoken very well. And you all are the winners. Because at least you all have taken participation in this program among thousands of students. Thank you so much.